Shalom, my friends, this is Max Joseph, and I am here because, my goodness, it is time for the predictions. My friends, you're all probably wondering, Max, where have you been? What happened to every first of the month? What's going on? Here's the truth, y'all. Honestly, I'm having a hard time just keeping up with everything. Between hours of editing, which kills my back, by the way, getting home from work late, taking care of Cooper, I've been nonstop for a long time, and I haven't been able to create content. So, here's what I'll say about this channel. I'm gonna post whenever. I don't think I can do every month predictions, but I'll post some stuff when I have the time, or when something big happens. I don't know. This channel got to a point where I felt this, like, immense pressure to create content and make a living off of doing that. And I let that drive me a bit, but that's not why I did this, ever. I did this because I love movies and talking about them with other film people. I love hearing people's opinions and discussing in a healthy way why we feel a certain way about movies. Doing this stuff makes me happy. So I'll absolutely continue to create content. When will it come out? I have no clue. And that's okay. If y'all are ever like, Max, I want to chat, message me on Twitter or Instagram, Letterboxd, whatever. I'm always happy to chat. This isn't the end of this channel by any means. There just won't be as much content as I once thought there would be. And what's most important to me, selfishly, I'm so happy with my life. And if I get to make a handful of videos a year and chat with some fellow film lovers, it makes my life that much better. So, all that being said, the Oscars are this Sunday, and we have a lot to discuss. But first, let me start off by saying it is absolutely shameful that the Academy has chosen to not air 8 categories live. Making a film is a group activity. One cannot happen without the other. That's just a fact. And ABC Network has chosen this ridiculous route, and it's despicable. There is still time to change. ABC, make this right. I know the Academy and the people that actually watch the Oscars never asked for this. I don't need more gimmicks. I watch the Oscars to see people celebrate the year of cinema, not to see extra shtick that has nothing to do with anything. So please, make this change. Present all 23 awards live. All that being said, here are my final predictions for the 2021 Oscars. Best Picture. We have a race, my friends. I do believe this is down to the wire, and it just depends on what you want to go with. Personally, it comes down to my brain and my heart. My brain says go with Power of the Dog, but my heart says Coda. That's the one I'm going with. If you choose Power of the Dog, you are probably going with the safe choice. If you look at history, Power of the Dog has nearly every single nomination or win you could possibly need, at least compared to Coda. If you want to just look at the Oscar nominations, Power of the Dog has director and editing. Coda has neither of those. And in the history of the Academy Awards, no film has ever won Best Picture without at least one of those 2 nominations. So that alone makes this pretty impossible to bet against. How about Ace Eddie? Only 11 misses out of 60. So 49 out of 60 times the Best Picture winner had at least a nomination at Ace Eddie. Power of the Dog was nominated there, and Coda wasn't. What about DGA? DGA has missed the eventual Best Picture winner twice. It's 71 out of 73. That's 97%, my friends. And only Campion is nominated for Power of the Dog, while Hader missed, unfortunately. Also, the winner of DGA has translated into the Best Picture winner 60 out of 73 times. That's a whopping 82%. So, let's look at Coda's chances. It won SAG and PGA. That's big. 12 out of the 26 winners of SAG have gone on to win Best Picture. Pretty solid, but not amazing. What is amazing is that only 4 films have won Best Picture without at least a nomination here. Power of the Dog wasn't nominated at SAG. Granted, 3 of them have happened in the last few years, but it's still really a good sign for Coda. 22 of 32 winners of PGA have went on to win Best Picture. That's close to 70%, but it's, again, not amazing. There have been 8 occasions where a film has won both PGA and SAG, and 6 out of the 8 went on to win Best Picture. Again, solid, but not enough history to really feel confident. Anyway, I'm going with Coda, because it just comes down to my heart. And it's been a rough year, and I just want to go with the one that I just want to win. I had the same feeling with Parasite, different. My brain said 1917, but my heart said Parasite, and in the end, I went with my heart. I'm not saying they're the same films or situation by any means. I'm just comparing the feeling I had. Even though it means it would be the first Best Picture winner to ever win without a director or editing nomination. But records were meant to be broken, and I'm going with my heart. Last thing, could it also be Belfast, Dune, or West Side Story? Oh, absolutely. It has the nominations it needs, but with Coda surging here, it would be pretty shocking to see anything top both Coda and The Power of the Dog. So all this being said, if you were a betting person and you wanted to make the smart choice, I think go with Power of the Dog. But if you're like me and want to go with your heart, go with something else. Best Director. Jane Campion is making history for so many reasons. When she wins this award on March 27th, this Sunday, good Lord, she already became the first woman to be nominated in this category multiple times, but she'll become only the third woman to win this award. The first being Kathryn Bigelow for The Hurt Locker, and the second, of course, being just last year with Chloe Zhao. And how remarkable is it that we are about to have back-to-back women winning the highest honor? Unreal, and about time. I could get into stats of how much director and picture line up, but it's kind of pointless. She won DGA, she won Globe, she won BAFTA, she won Critics' Choice. It's over. In the history of the DGAs, they've only not correctly predicted the winner of the Oscar 8 times. They're 64 of 72, which is basically like 89%. Also, the only year someone didn't get a win in one of the big four, DGA, Globe, BAFTA, Critics' Choice, was Ang Lee for The Life of Pi. Lee was the only director to win the Oscar and never win one of those big four. So because Jane Campion won all four, that's it. If you win all four, you win the Oscar. And the reason I'm not including Sam Mendes in this is because Bong tied for Critics' Choice, so it doesn't really apply, but it kind of does. Anyway, it's never not happened this way. And also, this is all, of course, since 1995 when we got the first award for director at Critics' Choice. Fun fact, unless Hamaguchi wins director, the DGA have only ever missed the best director twice in its history, dating back to 1948. He'd also become the first director to ever win the Oscar without DGA, Globe, and Critics' Choice. So it's an uphill battle, but it is, of course, very possible. The most misses a best director has had since Critics' Choice is one category. Before Critics' Choice was a thing, the most anyone missed was 2, never 3. George Roy Hill for The Sting is the only best director to not be nominated for more than one of these big four. So Campion is going to walk away with this. If it's anyone else, it would be one of the biggest shocks in the history of the Academy Awards. Actress in a leading role. So the acting categories seem pretty locked up this year. To be clear, I don't love the term locked, because nothing ever is. But I'm using it because it just makes life easier. And it starts with Jessica Chastain. Everyone lost their minds, including myself, when Nicole Kidman won Globe. I'm not saying she's not deserving, she was excellent. But then, things started to become more clear when Chastain won SAG. And then she won Critics' Choice. And then, obviously, BAFTAs didn't matter this year in terms of predicting the Oscars because none of our 5 actors were nominated at the BAFTAs. And that's not me diminishing the BAFTAs at all. That's just me saying nobody was nominated for both an Oscar and the BAFTA this year. Anyway, I think it will be Chastain for a multitude of reasons, besides the fact that she has the best record as far as the Big Four go. One, she is campaigning hard right now. That is massive. 2, she's been nominated twice for an Oscar, once for supporting and once for lead, so it should be a really wonderful moment to see her get her first win. 3, Nicole Kidman, Olivia Colman, and Penelope Cruz already have Oscars. 4, Kristen Stewart is a first-time nominee, and giving the lead win to a first-time nominee is incredibly rare. 5, the last point is most important, Jessica Chastain is really good in the eyes of Tammy Faye. It also has the most, transformative aspect to it because of the incredible makeup and hairstyling. It all just meshes together to give me enough confidence to give her this win. That being said, if one of the 4 acting categories were to pull a surprise win, it would probably be this one. Actor in a leading role. This is pretty darn clear. Will Smith has absolutely steamrolled this final part of the season. Yes, Benedict Cumberbatch has the most wins with critics and such, but Will Smith has won all 4 of the Big Four. And when that happens, the actor's never lost. So unless something crazy happens, it's over. Smith will win his Oscar. He'll become the 5th black person to win the Academy Award for Actor in a Leading Role. The last was Forrest Whitaker for The Last King of Scotland in 2006. And it is gonna probably be one of the highlights of the ceremony to see him walk up and accept this trophy. I can't wait to cry. Actress in a supporting role. Just like actor in a leading role, this is done. And it has been for a while now. She's been the leader with critics, and she's won all 4 of the big 4. So if this goes to anyone that isn't Ariana DeBose, it would be shocking. Even more than if Will Smith were to lose, because he wasn't the leader as far as numbers going in. Ariana DeBose is. It's going to her. Of the 4 acting categories, this is the one I feel most confident about. Actor in a supporting role. Everyone thought it was Cody until Troy Kotsur came in to say different. Although Kodi Smit-McPhee has 30 wins compared to Troy's 14, Troy has the ones that matter the most. He has SAG, BAFTA, and Critics' Choice. Not me diminishing other critics groups or something. That's just like as far as like the big ones, the big 4. Anyway, SAG is 18 of 27 with this category. BAFTAs are 16 of 54. But BAFTAs weren't as, like, in line years ago with the Oscars as they are now. Critics are 16 of 26. And what happens when you win 3 of the 4? You never lose. If you win SAG, BAFTA, and Critics' Choice, there's never been a time when you don't win Oscar in that scenario. Also, the speeches that Troy Kotsur has been giving are just far and away the best part of this award season so far. He is so lovable, and I think he's just going to walk away with this and make history as the second deaf person to win an acting Oscar. The first being his co-star, Marlee Matlin. Original screenplay. This race is hilarious and crazy, and I don't know what's going to happen. I thought that things would be a little bit more clear if Licorice Pizza won WGA, but no. They threw a curveball at us and gave it to Adam McKay's Don't Look Up. That was shocking. So now we're in this weird and unusual situation where only one film has more than one of the big 4, that being WGA, Globe, BAFTA, and Critics' Choice. As I said, Don't Look Up won WGA, Licorice Pizza won BAFTA, and Belfast won Globe and Critics' Choice. So what do the numbers tell us? Well, first, there have been 3 occasions when a film won just Globe and Critics' Choice and ended up winning the Oscar. Those were Manchester by the Sea, Django Unchained, and Almost Famous. How many times has WGA win translated into an Oscar? 35 out of 52 times, which is 67%. How many times has a Globe win translated into an Oscar? 16 out of 64, 25%. And how many times has a BAFTA win translated into an Oscar? 16 out of 38 times, which is 42%. Now, how many times has a Critics' Choice win translated into an Oscar? 16 out of 26, roughly 61.5%. So use those numbers however you'd like. And here's where I'm at. I don't see Belfast walking away with 0 Oscars on Sunday. It just doesn't sit right with me. 7 nominations and 0 wins for what was once the Oscar frontrunner. I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. So I think it wins here, but if it isn't Belfast, I'd be pretty surprised to see something that wasn't Licorice Pizza, even though numbers may say Don't Look Up. Keep in mind, Belfast wasn't eligible for WGA, and I imagine if it was, it would have won. Adapted screenplay. We have a race. Just like Picture, this is between The Power of the Dog and Coda. Yes, The Lost Daughter is in it, especially since it got USC, but I don't think it's going to go past the top 2. But if there was to be something that wasn't Power of the Dog or Coda, it would be The Lost Daughter. So, let's break it down. Power of the Dog won Critics' Choice and was nominated at USC, Globe, and BAFTA, and wasn't eligible at WGA. Coda won WGA and BAFTA and was nominated at Critics' Choice. So is there one of these 4 that usually outweighs the other? Yup. Let's start with Globes. They're 22 out of 56, 39%. BAFTA is 14 out of 38, roughly 37%. And Critics' Choice is 9 out of 26, about 35%. Now, WGA is 38 out of 52. 73% of the times the winner of WGA went on to win the Oscar. You may also be thinking and asking, has a film ever won this award with only these 2 wins? Yup. Just a couple years ago, Jojo Rabbit. Other than that, it's never happened. So Coda is fighting an uphill battle. Animated feature. Before y'all go crazy, let me start off by saying Encanto is 99.99999% winning this award. But there is that tiny chance that I'm holding on to that Mitchells vs. the Machines wins. So, if you're doing the smart thing, go with Encanto. But same with Best Picture. I'm going with my heart and picking Mitchells vs. the Machines to win. And truly, nearly every stat besides Critics' Choice says to choose Encanto. It won Globe, PGA, BAFTA, Ace Eddie, 3 Annies, even though Mitchell's had 8 Annies, ADG, CAS, NBR, 4 Visual Effects Awards. It has everything it needs to win. So you should probably pick it. But because I love Mitchell's so much, and they're campaigning the heck out of it, I'm gonna go with it. I think it's gonna make history as the first animated film to not be nominated at the Globes and still win animated feature. Either way, for the first time since Cars, most likely an original Pixar film will not be winning this award. It's only happened twice, by the way. Cars and Monsters, Inc. That's crazy. Cinematography. Dune's Greg Fraser had a huge win the other night at ASC. He now has ASC and BAFTA, while The Power of the Dog has Critics' Choice. ASC is 16 out of 35 in crossover, BAFTA is 11 out of 21 since 2000, and Critics' Choice is 10 out of 13. And they matched Oscar every year from 2012 to 2019 until Mank won that last year, instead of the Critics' Choice winner, Nomadland. So what do we do? In this case, I say go with the blockbuster and the one that has multiple wins. Since 2009, only 2 films have won cinematography with only one of these 3 wins under their belt. One actually won this without any wins, and that was Hugo. But I'm really torn on it. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. If it were up to me, Tragedy of Macbeth should be winning this in a landslide. So go with your gut, and if you're thinking Best Picture frontrunner, sure. But the winner of cinematography and the winner of Best Picture have matched only 27 times, and only twice since 2000. Production design. This is Dune. It won everything. And yes, Dune, it's gonna get repetitive. But Dune, it won ADG, SDSA, BAFTA, Critics' Choice, and although SDSA started just last year, it's not necessarily fair to put SDSA as a deciding factor, but it helps. But Mank did win it last year, and Dune won it this year. Anyway, no film has only won just one of these 3, not including SDSA, of course, and also one production design. This stat starts in 2009. The only surprise I can see is Nightmare Alley. It's also the only other nominee to win a major precursor, that being ADG. Costume design. Cruella, Cruella de Vil. Jenny Beavan has 3 wins this season, CDG, BAFTA, and Critics' Choice, and I'm so happy. Since the first costume design award was given out by Critics' Choice, a film that wins all 3 of these has never lost. Now, Dune does also have CDG. BAFTA is 23 out of 57 at predicting the eventual Oscar winner, but they're 13 of 16 since 2005. Big difference. Critics' Choice is 9 out of 12, which is also pretty helpful. And it doesn't really matter because Cruella won all 3 of these, and there's only been one film to win this Oscar with no wins in any of these 3, and that was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Film editing. People seem to think that when a film that's nominated for Best Picture wins this award, it automatically means it's winning. It's not necessarily true. It's happened a lot, 33 times to be exact, but not so much recently. The last time that happened was 2009 with Hurt Locker. It happened a lot during the 2000s, but not a single time again since 2010. Also, Dune is the only one that is nominated at all 3. Power of the Dog didn't have BAFTA. And if you're curious about which of the 3 is the best predictor of the Oscar winner, it's Ace Eddie. 38 out of 60 for 63%, BAFTA's 35%, Critics' Choice is 41%. So if you want to go with just those 3 stats, go with either King Richard or Tick, Tick, Boom, but I'm going to go with the film that has a nomination in all 3 categories. Also, even though I'd love for Tick, Tick, Boom to win, it's just not likely. Even though the Best Picture winner isn't always the winner here, the winner is usually nominated for Best Picture. Only 3 times since 2000 was the winner in film editing not nominated for Best Picture. Most recently, 2011's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So even though Tick, Tick, Boom has Ace Eddie along with King Richard, chances don't look good for it. Makeup and hairstyling. This award is very exciting to me this year, because although I do have Tammy Faye winning, I don't think it's a done deal, as it has been for a few years now. MUAHS is fairly new, but pretty important. In the 13 years they've been giving out awards, only 5 times was the Oscar winner either not nominated or missed. And only twice since 2013, most recently was last year with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anyway, this race felt pretty easy to call for a while. Then MUAHS, that is hard to say, they decided to give Coming to America 3 wins, and Tammy Faye 0. That was very surprising. But my big hang-up, even though it dominated there, that's its only nomination and win of the big 3, that being BAFTA, MUAHS, nailed it, and Critics' Choice. If it was even nominated for either of the other 2, I'd give it to them. But it's not, unfortunately. It also helps that my Best Actress winner is Jessica Chastain. Very similar to the Gary Oldman win, which of course also won makeup and hairstyling that year. Now there is a chance that in this category they kind of just default to Dune. It has all 3 nominations, and to be fair, the design in that film is remarkable. I can see a voter kind of just saying, yeah, it's winning all the other tech categories, so might as well give it makeup and hair. Only time will tell, but I'm sticking with Tammy Faye. Sound. Just sound. Dune. It's going to Dune. Besides West Side Story, it's the only film to have a win at BAFTA, CAS, or MPSE. West Side won at MPSE, while Dune won at all three. It's probably the second or third biggest lock of the night, next to the next category. Visual effects. I don't even think I need to talk about this category. This is going to Dune. There is no world in which Dune doesn't win this award. It would make no sense. And the only reason I could possibly think of is BAFTA. Spider-Man is my number 2, but it didn't get to compete against Dune at BAFTAs. So even if it had competed against Dune at BAFTAs, I still would have been pretty darn shocked to see Dune lose. Now, Spider-Man was up for Visual Effects Society, and it didn't win there. Dune won 4 times. And the BAFTA. And the Critics' Choice. It's over. Original score. Hans frickin' Zimmer. I have been saying this for I don't even know how long. Since the year and a half I've been saying this he's winning. He is primed to win his second Oscar after winning many, many moons ago for The Lion King, one of the greatest scores ever. Zimmer's epic score for Dune has pretty much dominated this season. Aside from SEL, he won Globe, BAFTA, HMMA, Critics' Choice. This feels pretty much locked, but definitely one of the ones that would be shocking to see anyone else win. Also, shout out to Encanto because A, Go Animation, B, if Encanto wins, this would be the second time 2 animated films have won Best Score consecutive years in a row. The first, Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. Original song. Stats don't really matter in this category because they're kind of all over the place. So saying one thing has this doesn't always equal something else here. In general, the music stats are probably the least consistent throughout time. That being said, it's hard to deny the dominance that No Time to Die has had. It won Globe, HMMA, SCL, and Critics' Choice. The only one it missed was GMS, but Encanto won that. It doesn't feel like Encanto's winning this. I hope it does. I would be so happy. Anyway, last year told us that you don't really need to win Globe or Critics' Choice, because Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah won the award with just a win at HMMA. So for those of you saying that this is one of the easier categories, I will just say, look at last year. Look at Remember Me from Coco upsetting This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. Go back even farther and look at If I Didn't Have You from Monsters, Inc., missing both Globe and Critics' Choice and still winning. Anything can happen here. But if I were a betting person, I'd say go with Billie Eilish. International feature film. This is the biggest lock of the night. By a lot. Drive My Car won Globe, BAFTA, Critics' Choice. It's also nominated for 3 other Oscars, including Best Picture, Director, and Adapted Screenplay. Drive My Car not winning here would most likely be the biggest shock of the night. No, it wouldn't arguably be. It would be the biggest shock of the night. But, for argument's sake, Worst Person in the World is also nominated for Original Screenplay. So it has a screenplay nomination, I mean. And then you have the history-making animated documentary Flea, which is also, of course, nominated in documentary feature and animated feature, the first to ever do that. So it's pretty amazing that all these international films are starting to finally move into other categories that aren't just this one, which is really wonderful for the Oscars. Anyway, it's going to be Drive My Car. Documentary feature. I think it's hard not to choose Summer of Soul, but if you go for Flea, I'm in full support. Summer of Soul has... It's hard to argue because it's won basically everything it needs to, besides DGA, which actually went to Attica, which was awesome. But it won PGA, BAFTA, Critics' Choice, Ace Eddie, IDA Director, Cinema Audio Society, and was nominated at essentially everywhere else. It's winning. Animated short. So with these shorts, you go with your gut. I'm going with Robin Robin here. My only hang-up is that it is a bit long, but it being on Netflix definitely helps it. I also love that it's a musical. It has Gillian Anderson and Richard E. Grant. It has enough push behind it to win. Listen, if you want to win an animated short, just look to Netflix or Pixar. This will be 2 years in a row Netflix will win this award. Live action short. I think having Riz Ahmed as your star and producer for this film is very helpful. That's not me saying it's not good. I think it's incredible. But it helps having his face on the poster when voters are watching this. If it's not this one, then I have no clue. Go with your gut. Documentary short. If you don't watch The Queen of Basketball and fall in love with Lucy Harris, I have no clue what you watched. Out of the 3 shorts, this is actually the one I feel the least confident on. So if you have any of the other 4, I'm in full support of you. Those are my predictions for the 94th Academy Awards, my final predictions. Let me know what you've predicted in the comments. Agree, disagree? Let me know. And so my friends, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video, give me your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to this channel, as well as follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at mjoseph492. Like my page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/ Max Joseph Film Person. Shalom, my friends.